Hello everyone. Just setting up my last device, just waiting for people to join in. Yeah, hope you're having a good Saturday so far. Yay. Hey, Kayla. Cool. All right, we will get started right at 10 o'clock. For this class, if you didn't see my post already, you will need a chair or a bench or something for this class, just because we're going to be using it as a prop to help us get deeper into a stretch. But other than that, just some space to move, like a mat or a rug or a yoga mat or whatever you have at home will work just fine. Make sure you have plenty of space. Make sure you have some water. We're just going to do some stretching today. Nothing crazy. Yeah, just waiting on this last device to get started. Okay. Almost there. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, hello, I'm Taria. So this is only my second time doing a live video. I'm still figuring out the kinks. So if the video goes dark or something, then I'm so sorry. But we're just gonna start standing today. And I'm gonna back up towards my mat. So we're gonna start standing, and we're just gonna start moving the body a little bit. This is called the couch potato class, and it's for everyone that's been sitting down too long, or if you're stuck at home like I am, maybe even watching a little too much Netflix, or maybe you're still having to go into the office, and you just aren't super happy, and your back is a little cranky, and your hips are tight. This is the class for you. So let's start in a nice wide stance. And I'm just going to start by dropping my chin towards my chest. I'm starting to arch in my back and take a slow roll all the way down towards your mat. And once you get to the bottom, just give your head a nice big shake yes. And a shake no. And take a deep bend in your knees. And slowly roll all the way back up. We're rolling sequentially through the spine. And release all the way at the top, open out your chest. Let's inhale those arms all the way up. And exhale again, big roll all the way down, tucking your chin to your chest. And once you get to the bottom, take a deep bend in those knees. And stretch. And bend slowly, roll all the way back up. And again, release at the top. Let's inhale those arms all the way up. And 2 more times. Exhale, roll all the way down. And give that head a big shake yes. And the shake no at the bottom. And deep bend in your knees. And stretch. And bend, slowly roll all the way up to standing. And last time, release all the way at the top, inhale those arms up. And exhale, roll all the way down. And deep bend at the bottom. And stretch. And bend, roll all the way up. And release at the top, just take one last reach up with those arms. And we're going to cross that right arm underneath your left, just stretch it out, maybe take a little twist to the side, and release back to the front. Again, twist to the side, and release back to the front, and release those arms, switch it out, and twist to the side, and bring it back to the front. Again, twist to the side, and bring it back to the front. Let's inhale those arms up. Exhale, one more time, each direction, little twist to the side. We're just trying to get rotation. We're trying to warm the body up a little bit, getting ready for a stretch. And back to the front. And last time, inhale up. And opposite direction. And twist. And front. Last time, twist. And front. And I'm going to release my arms. My arms go out to a T, and I'm just going to take a big reach up and over, getting a nice side stretch here. It should start in your foot and go all the way up through your fingertips. And bring it back up, other direction, big stretch up and over. And bring it back up. We're going to do this one more time, each direction. Big stretch up and over. And we're going to let this left arm travel down to our side. And we're just going to trace a line all the way up. Try to deepen that stretch as you do. We'll do this 3 more times. Here's 2. And here's 3. And last one, here's 4. And bring it back up. And other direction. And we're going to trace our side with our palm. Here's 1. And here's 2. 2 more, here's 3. Deepening the stretch each time. And here's 4. And bring it back up. We're going to take those arms, big inhale up. Exhale, interlock those hands behind your head. And just give a gentle tug, chin to chest. We're not going to go anywhere. Just enjoy the stretch here. And release, big arch in the back. And bring it back up. One more time, inhale those arms up. Interlock those hands, send them behind your head, and gently tug your chin to your chest. And release. Release all the way at the top. And bring it back up. We're going to take our chin side to side, just looking over your shoulder in each direction. Again, we're just warming up the body, section by section. And now we're going to drop our head forwards and backwards. And we're going to take a big circle to the right. Big circle all the way to the right. And again, here's 2. 2 more, here's 3. And here's 4. And reverse left, here's 1. And here's 2. And here's 3. And here's 4, last one. We're going to take a big scoop with the arms, big scoop down. Exhale up, release at the top. And one more time. Inhale, big scoop down. Exhale, release at the top. And we're going to take a deep bend in those knees, slowly hunch over. So we're in this little like ball position. We're just trying to let those shoulders kind of dangle. We're going to take a few circles back in this position. It's kind of an ugly position, but it feels really good. My knees are bent and my back is hunched over. And we'll reverse that circle forwards. And 2. Here's 3. And 4. And go ahead and turn your toes out to the side. We're going to sink down into a deep hip opening stretch here. And just take a gentle sway side to side. Elbows are to my knees. You can also go up here if you need to. Up to you, depending on where we're at today. And I'm going to drop one shoulder down towards the ground, getting a twist in the spine. And And switch, the opposite shoulder drops, twisting the spine. And one more time, switch. And last time, switch. And go ahead and plant your hands, extend through those legs. We're in a parallel position now, and we're just going to walk ourselves over to that right leg, give that leg a hug. And we're going to bend that left knee and bend, and stretch. Again, bend, and stretch. Plant your left hand, right arm reaches up for a twist. And back down through center. Walk yourself over to that left leg, give it a hug. And two bends in your right knee, bend and stretch. Again, bend and stretch. Plant your right hand, left arm goes up for a twist. And bring it back down. We're going to walk ourselves all the way over to that right side. Flip those hips, make sure they're square. And we're going to pull our nose towards our knee, getting a nice deep hamstring stretch here, round in that back. And bend your back knee. And flex your front foot. And extend. We're going to bend our right knee, step your left foot back, runner's lunge. In this position, make sure your knee is right over your ankle. And from here, we're just going to try and float those arms off the ground, finding a balance here. And lower those arms back down. One more time, extend through that right leg, nose to knee. And rebend into that knee. Let's take that right arm up for a twist. And drop that hand behind your back if you can. Open up that chest a little bit more. And release that hand back down. We're going to drop our left knee all the way down into the ground. And maybe bring those hands up to the top of your right knee if you're feeling confident and able. Try to sink deeper into that left hip flexor here. And keep that chin and chest nice and lifted. We're not hunching over here. Everything is lifting towards the ceiling. This is going to be really intense right in here. That's what we want. And drop those hands back down. We're going to press our hips back and extend that right leg. Just fold forward over that right leg as much as you can. And rebend into that right knee. Reach this right arm around behind you and try and grab for that left foot if you can. Maybe you just look at it, that's okay too. And release that foot. We're going to tuck those left toes and we're going to extend through that right leg. Walk yourself all the way over to that left side and we'll repeat the sequence to the left. Square off those hips and drop that nose to your knee. And bend your back knee. And flex your front foot. And extend. Go ahead and bend your left knee. We're going to step that right foot back into a deep runner's lunge. And make sure that knee is over your ankle here. And let's float those arms off the mat if you can. And drop those arms back down. One more time, extend through that left leg. And bend into that knee. Take that left arm up for a twist. And drop that hand down. Go ahead and bend into your right knee, dropping that knee all the way down. Press back in those hips and extend through that left leg. And re-bend into that knee, press those hips down. Maybe while you're here, you bring those hands up to the top of your knee if you're able. We're trying to get deep into that right hip flexor this time. Really try and use the weight of your pelvis to push down in your hips here. And drop back down. And let's reach that left arm around behind us. Try and grab for that right foot if you're able. And release that foot. Go ahead and tuck those toes. We're going to lift that knee back off the mat, extend through that left knee, walk it back through center. And those hands are going to walk behind your feet, and they keep going. Sink down into this nice center stretch here. And bring it back through center. Let's take a deep bend in those knees and slowly roll all the way up to standing. Give it a shake out at the top. So if you missed my intro, welcome. This is your couch potato class today. What you will need is you will need a bench or a chair. So if you don't have one handy right now, maybe try to find one. If you still don't have one, then I'm sure we can work it out without one. But we're going to take this time to grab our bench or our chair, and we're going to pull it out. Here's my bench. And let me actually angle this so you can see what's going on a little bit. All right, so here's my bench. What we're going to start with is we're just going to have a seat in our chair, and feet are flat and firm on the ground. I make sure that my knees are right over my ankles, just like when we were in our runner's lunge. And we're sitting up nice and tall, so the core is supporting our torso. It's holding us upright. And we're just going to start with some vacuum abs. So we're just going to suck our bellies in towards our spine. And we're going to hold that position. Make sure you're breathing. We're sucking everything in. Everything's engaged. It should be a little harder to breathe in this position, this vacuum ab position, just because we're working on engaging our core. And release. Go ahead and just take a little arch, maybe a little circle through the spine. We're going to do that again. So sit up nice and tall. And we're going to suck our bellies into our spine. Keep that core engagement. Make sure you're breathing. The nice thing about these exercises that we'll do today is that you can take them with you. And when you sit on the couch again to watch your show or to go outside and sit in a chair, you can do these exercises while you're sitting down. And release your core. One more time, give a big circle. Just a little arch in the back. All right, now we're going to hold on to our knees, and we're going to rock our pelvis back. We're going to start to arch in our back and drop our chin to our chest. This should feel really good in the shoulders. And we're going to rock our pelvis forward and release at the top. Again, rock back and forward. 2 more times, back and forward. And last time, back and forward. And we're going to take our chin, roll it all the way down to our chest, and take a slow roll down here in this seated position. And with those feet firmly grounded, we're going to use our heels to press ourselves back up, and we're engaging our core as we sequentially roll back up through the spine and release at the top. Again, tuck the chin to your chest, slowly roll down. And ground through those heels, roll back up. We're going to do this twice more. This time those arms are going to inhale up. And exhale, those arms drop. We roll ourselves back down. And roll back up. Those arms reach with us this time. They're helping to open up our chest at the top. And exhale, back down once more. And inhale all the way back up. Beautiful. Now we're going to take our feet, we're going to walk them out a little bit wider, just about a step wider than they just were. And those feet are still firmly grounded. We're in a parallel position still, but we just have a wider stance with our hips, so it's going to change the stretch up a little bit. Let's do this once more in this position. So we drop our chin to our chest, roll all the way down. And all the way back up. Release at the top. And again, all the way down. And all the way back up. This time those arms reach up overhead. They're going to help us. Exhale, roll all the way down. And all the way back up. Let those arms help you. We'll do this once more. All the way down. Exhale. And all the way back up. Beautiful. Go ahead and drop those arms. We're going to turn our toes out now, so we keep our hips in the same position, but now our toes are turned out, so we're not in a parallel position anymore. And from here, we're going to press ourselves forward towards the edge of our chair. We're not going to fall out, so try and, make sure that that doesn't happen, because that's not what the point is. We don't want to fall out of our chair, but we want to be on the edge so we have more range of motion for what we're doing next. We're going to take those arms out to a T position, and we're going to just rotate, keeping our core nice and tight, everything's upright, and we're dropping one knee, and then we bring it back to the front, and we rotate the other direction, drop the other. So we're just getting into those hips. We're warming them up a little bit, getting a nice range of motion happening. Since our hips are a ball and socket joint, that means that they can rotate in many different directions, and it takes a lot of, or not a lot, but it takes more consideration and more time to properly warm them up and get them ready for movement. And let's do one more time in each direction. Just dropping that knee, letting it be nice and heavy. And last time. And back to the front. Go ahead and bring those feet back together in a parallel position, right where we started. And we're going to take a nice grip on our chair. So whatever kind of chair you're in, or if you're in a bench like me, make sure you have a nice sturdy grip wherever you're going. And we're actually going to hold this position that we're in right now, but we're going to be suspended in the air. So we're going to push down with our hands. We're going to suspend ourselves in the air, and we're getting some spine elongation here. So we're going to hold here as long as we can, making sure that those wrists are taken care of, that they're not going to injure themselves. But we're just going to let that pelvis hang nice and heavy. Push down with those shoulders. We're not slouching down here. We're all the way here. And let's take a deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Drop yourself back down onto your chair. Maybe take a little circle with those wrists. We're going to do that one more time, but we're going to add a little more motion into it, so it should feel nice on your spine. For those that don't know, I'm also an aerial instructor, and I've definitely been missing my apparatus and like being able to go upside down, because that gives you the spine elongation, and it helps your spine to, not be so cranky. So I've been missing that since I've been at home, but this is the next best thing. So we'll do this one more time, and hopefully we get the same results as we do in a hammock. Push down into your chair and lift yourself back up. Press down with your scapula. And we're just going to drop ourselves a little bit lower using those arms. And back up. Little tricep dip. We'll do it again. 2. And back up. And here's 3. And up. 1 more. Here's 4. And up. Go ahead and drop yourself back down into your chair. From here, we're going to pick up our right leg and cross it over that left leg. So we're making a figure 4 with our hips here. And we're just going to press down on that knee with your right hand and pull up on that foot with your left. So we're getting a little stretch in opposition here, opening up that hip a little further. And gently release. We're going to grab our foot and our knee with our hands and gently pull that knee into your center. As close as you can get it. And drop it back down. We'll do this one more time. Press down on that knee, pull up on the foot, opening up that hip. And release. And now we're going to pull that leg into our center. And release. Go ahead and drop this right foot back down to the ground. I'm going to hold onto my bench a little bit for more support, and I'm going to extend that right leg straight now. I'm going to flex my foot to start, and we're just going to engage our lower abdominals and lift with that quad to do a nice little lift and lower with that leg. So it's a tiny movement that's happening, but it's really effective, especially for the lower abdominals, which are sometimes harder to target. So push down in your chair. We'll do 4 of these with the foot flexed, and we lift up 4, 1, and here's 2, and nice and controlled, 3, and 4. Now we're going to point through that foot and do the same thing. It's going to change the exercise a little bit. We should be keeping that hip square. Do not let it turn out, my dancer friends. Keep it parallel. Here we go, and lift up for another 1, and here's 2, and 3, and last one, here's 4. And go ahead and bend that knee back underneath. Give it a little shake, maybe show that quad some love. It's such a small movement, but it's very effective. And we're going to repeat that sequence with our left leg now. So we're going to lift that left leg up, cross it over that right. And we're going to pull up on that foot as we push down on that knee. So we pull up and push down simultaneously, opening up that hip. And gently release. Now we're going to pull that knee and leg into your center. Hold it there. And release. Again, let's push down on that knee. Pull that foot towards you. And last time, let's reverse. Pull that knee all the way in. And release. Go ahead and drop that left foot to the mat. And we're going to extend that leg straight. Go ahead and flex the foot towards the ceiling. Again, we're targeting the lower abdominals, and we're also using the quad to help us lift and lower the leg. We'll do it 4 times here with that foot flexed. Here we go. We lift up 4, 1, and 2. Here's 3, and 4. Go ahead and point through that foot. Same exercise here, just changing up the range of motion a little bit. And we lift up 4, 1, and 2. Here's 3, and 4. Go ahead and bend that knee back into your center. Show that quad some love. And this next movement we're going to do, if you have really tight shoulders and pectorals especially, and if you have a really tight back, it might not feel that great. So if you feel like it's more painful than helpful, then maybe ease off a little bit, ease off the gas pedal. But if you're feeling a little more mobile and you're ready to go for it, then you can do that as well. So it's up to you how far you push yourself for this next stretch. But we're going to plant our hands on our bench or on our chair, and I'm going to lift my legs out in front of me. I lift my hips up towards the ceiling, and we're just going to try and press those hips out as much as you can. Look up at the ceiling. Woo. And drop those hips back down. We'll do it one more time. And we push down with our hands, extend those legs out in front of us, and lift those hips up towards the ceiling. And keep letting that head go. Release everything at the top. And drop everything back down. Go ahead and bend those knees back into your center. Circle out those wrists one more time. We're going to take that right leg back into our center now. So that right leg comes into our center. We're going to bend at that hip crease and just take a little pump in and out with your knees. In and out. Let's try and not let the leg do any work. Try and make all this work about your arms because we're trying to turn off that hip right now so that we can fire it up later. And now we're going to hold onto that knee with your right hand. My left hand is going to grab my foot, and I'm going to extend that leg as far as it will go. If this is all you've got, that's totally fine. You're still getting a stretch in the hamstring. If you can keep going, then keep going and extend that leg all the way out. And if you would like to take this up a notch further, you can open that right arm up in a twist. And bring it back through center. We're going to try and hold onto the bottom of the foot with both hands now and press that heel out as far as you can. Again, if all you've got is this today, that's totally fine. You're still getting a stretch wherever you stop. And we're going to try and release our foot with our hands. Maybe you do just one hand, maybe you do both. And we're going to try and lower it down to the ground nice and slow. So we release with the hands and we lower that foot all the way down and bring it back in. Now we're going to do the same thing with that left knee. I pull that knee up and into my center, and again we're deactivating the hip so that way we can just use our arms. We're showing our hips some love so that we can work it later. And now we're going to hold on with our left hand, reach down and grab the inside of that left foot with your right hand and extend that leg. Again, extend it as far as you can go. Maybe this is all you've got, maybe you keep going. And if you'd like to take this up a step further, open up that left arm for a twist. And bring it back through center. Let's reach and grab the bottom of your foot with both hands this time. And I'm going to extend that leg as straight as it will go. It changes the stretch up a little bit. And now we're going to release this foot and try and lower it down to the ground, nice and slow with control from the core. Release and lower. All the way down. Go ahead and bring that knee back into your center. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my chair out of the way a little bit so I have some extra room for this next portion. From here, we're going to lower down. I'm going to adjust this camera. Hello, everyone. I realize you guys can't really see what I'm doing at the bottom there, so hopefully this helps a little bit. All right, let's try that. Okay. So let me pull this back a little bit. We're going to start with our hands in a plank position. So I'm getting all the way down on my mat this time. And you can go onto your palms for your plank. You can go onto your forearms for your plank. Whatever is comfortable for you. Sometimes our wrists give us trouble and we don't want to be on our wrists. So if that's you, sometimes that's me, then you can go on your forearms. But what we're going to do is we're going to just find a plank and we're going to take our feet up onto our chair. So make sure your chair is nice and stable so it's not going to go flipping and therefore you falling. Make sure it's stable, and we're going to lift up maybe one leg, maybe both legs, and find a plank here. And we're going to hold here for 16 counts. Here we go, find your plank. And we hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and bend that right knee underneath yourself like you're going to a pigeon pose. And we're just going to sink down, getting a nice stretch with that left leg elevated. And go ahead and lift up onto those hands if you can. Take a gentle arch in the back. And lower back down. We're going to lift back up to our plank one more time, holding for 16 counts. And then we drop that opposite knee down. Here we go. We lift both feet up, hold there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and take that left knee. We're dropping it down to a pigeon pose this time. Maybe sink to those forearms. And go ahead and lift yourself up. Take a gentle arch. And go ahead and drop that right leg down. We're going to press ourselves back a tiny, tiny bit into a child's pose. So those knees open out wider than your mat. And you're going to reach those arms forward, sinking down onto your mat here. And my right arm is going to thread underneath my left shoulder. And bring it back through center. And my left arm is going to thread underneath my right shoulder. And bring it back through center. Go ahead and walk those hands back in. We're going to find our knees right in line with our hips. And our hands are going to be in line with our shoulders. We're going to a little quad pose here, so like a little tabletop, if you will. And we're just going to start by engaging and then disengaging the core. So you can let your belly hang. This is the time when it's okay to do that. Let that belly hang, or it's okay to do it all the time, really, but especially now. Go ahead and let your belly hang towards the ground. Let's breathe into our bellies. And exhale, we're going to engage the core. Suck it in towards your spine. Hold that engagement. And inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, engage the core. We'll do this 4 more times. Inhale, engage, disengage. And exhale, engage. And last time, inhale. And exhale. And from here, we're going to work on our cat and cow pose. So for our cat, we're going to inhale and arch your back towards the ceiling. Push the ground away with your knees and your hands. And exhale, we're going to curve our spine upwards towards the ceiling into your cow. And inhale, arch into your cat. And exhale, curve into your cow. We'll do this 4 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. And find a neutral spine. We're now going to take lateral movement. So we're moving our head towards our tailbone, going side to side. We're trying not to arch or curve our spine. We're trying to keep a nice neutral spine. Just getting this nice side to side movement, head towards your tailbone. I don't have a huge range of motion going this direction, maybe you do. Go as far as your body will allow. We'll do 2 more on each side. This is 1, 1, and last time 2, and 2. And go ahead and rock it back onto your knees. If you have any knee problems, you can also sit all the way down onto your bum. So from here, I'm going to show you, let me see, figuring out these angles, you guys. I'm going to pull my chair in front of me, and I'm just going to switch the angle that my rug is facing so that you can see what I am doing. For you, it doesn't really matter where it is, but as long as it's in front of you, and as long as you have a gap underneath your chair, then we should all be fine and dandy. So let me move my mat. This is kind of like an episode of you guys just watching me rearrange my little studio. Alrighty. So I'm going to have a seat on my mat with that chair in front of me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let's start with our left leg underneath that bench, and that right leg is going to be the one that goes up on top. If that is too much, like if you have a higher chair than I do, then you can also do this exercise just using your arms the same way we did when we were sitting down. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to take that right leg, we're going to lift it up to the top of that chair or bench. And we're going to flex both feet. So both feet are flexed up. We're in a parallel position. We are not turned out. We're parallel. From here, again, if you don't have a chair, just do this exercise holding onto your foot. You can do the same thing without a chair. We're going to hold onto that foot. Maybe you're here without the chair. Maybe your foot's resting there. And we're just going to try and get a nice straight back, as straight as you can get. And fold over that right foot. We're going to point through both feet. And flex both feet. We're going to try and find a nice straight back again. And point through that foot, fold forward. And bring it on up. I'm going to take my right knee and I'm going to remove it from the chair. I'm just going to hold it into my center like we did earlier, but since our leg is in a little different position, we might feel a different stretch here in those hips. And now I'm going to take my foot and cross it to the outside of my body. So it's going across that other leg. We're going to take a big reach up with that right arm and cross it, getting a nice twist in the spine. Sit up nice and tall, twist as far over that shoulder as you can. And arms go back up. Let's switch that twist, going to the opposite direction. And bring it back through to the center, and let's switch out those feet. One goes underneath, one goes on top. We'll start with those feet flexed up towards the ceiling and reach for that foot. Let's try and get that back as straight as you can, engaging the core. And point the feet round over. And one more time, flex the feet, find a nice flat back if you can. And point the feet round over. And bring it back up. We're going to pull that foot back into our center, holding it there. Again, this is going to feel a little different from what it did when we were sitting on our chair. We're just in a slightly different position. And we're going to cross this foot now across that other leg, planting that foot firmly in the ground. That arm comes up and we take a twist. arms reach up. Exhale, twist the other direction. And bring it back through center. And let's release that foot on the ground. So what I'm going to do now, again, if your chair is a little high, then you can do these exercises without your chair, but since mine's pretty low, then I'm going to use mine. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay back on our mats in a little corpse pose or shavasana pose. We lay back on our mats. We're going to start with one leg lifting up on top of your chair. Again, if you don't have a chair that is short enough, then just do this without your chair. We'll take those hips and we're going to lift up into a little bridge position here. And that left knee, you can either keep it on the ground supporting your hips, or you can take it up and hold it there. Try to hold, getting all the work in that right leg. Hold here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way back down. And we're going to do this one more time, on this side. And we lift up, maybe you hover those hips here, maybe lift that left leg up, hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant that foot, lower those hips back down, and let's switch out those feet. So we'll do that same thing here, just getting a little core work. And we lift those hips up, maybe you release that foot, hold there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down. We'll do this once more. And we lift those hips up. And maybe release that leg at the top. Hold there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop back down. I'm now going to take both feet up onto my chair. And we're just going to find a little moment of pause here. So, we're not doing any movement. If you have a higher chair but you weren't using it, feel free to take your feet up now. And we're just going to allow that spine to release, allow the lower back and those hips and everything to just feel really good in this position. We're going towards Shavasana, so let's open those palms up to face the ceiling and close the eyes. Let's all focus in on our breathing. So we're going to inhale through our nose, exhale through the mouth. Let's keep this breath pattern going as we allow our bodies to release into the ground, into your mat. And this is Odin, everyone. And feel free to remain in this position for as long as you would like. This is just your meditation position. This is where you can kind of recalibrate your body after that workout. Allow the energy to restore itself in your body. And I just want to thank you guys for joining me today. I hope that you take these exercises and you can certainly use them whenever you're sitting down, whenever you're bored, whatever you want to do. It's really good for the health of our back, our spine, our core, our hips, everything, to just move ourselves around as much as we can during the day, especially since a lot of us are probably at home right now. So again, thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. Feel free to follow my YouTube channel. It's called Everybody, and I post more workouts like this. I also have a membership program, so you can keep an eye out for these videos every week. Sometimes I post multiple. Thank you very much.